You're expecting Jalen Hurts to run a more complex offense, and he will never, but he'll be 20-1. What would you rather have? A more complex offense? You're telling me they're holding him back? How are they holding him back when he's 20-1? The team that drama never ends, the Philadelphia Eagles. Welcome aboard. Week 5 of the National Football League already, man. We were just talking, Xander and I. Week 6 of college football this weekend, and tonight, week 5 starts. It's 49ers and Rams. Obviously, it is Broncos and Eagles on Sunday. Things are starting to shape up on what teams are starting to look a little bit more like the teams we think that could be contenders and not pretenders once you get into the month of October. And, of course, you have the drama that's going on between A.J. Brown and the Philadelphia Eagles, or the media people, whatever. And, I'm going to ask you something out of the gate here. And I heard Xander say this, and I heard it say it yesterday, and I've heard a lot of people say it. So A.J. Brown has shown leadership, right? With going public with his comments. And that in some way, it might help the team. Well, let me ask you this. Am I to believe that A.J. Brown is more of a competitor than Lane Johnson or Jordan Mailata or Jalen Hurts? Why does his fucking feelings supersede those other players' feelings? They compete just as hard as he does. They want to win just as much as he does. Why do I have to give a shit about his feelings more than my own feelings or the other team feelings? Why? Because he posted it on X? You tell me why that is more important than Jordan Mailata's emotions and how he wants to win. Explain that to me, how I'm supposed to go like this. AJ's showing leadership. Okay? Maybe. But what do I give a fuck about his feelings? When I'm also blocking in that offensive line. When I'm also in that huddle with the rest of the people and the other 10 guys that want to compete. Why are his feelings fucking more important than mine? They're not? Okay. Well, at least I'm sitting here as a group with the other guys, and I respect the other guys because they compete as much. Just as AJ doesn't compete any harder than Devontae Smith. Why in the world does that have to have a leadership tag on it? He's the only one going public. He's the only one apologizing too. Those other players don't have to apologize for competing. He's got to apologize for what? Showing a lack of character? Maybe. I don't know. However you want to categorize it. His feelings don't matter more than the other guys on the team. How in the world does his feelings matter more than Jalen Hurts' or Devontae Smith's or Saquon Barkley's? Your frustrations, that's one thing. You wanting the football, hey, Jordan Mailata wants to make every fucking block. I don't subscribe to that. He doesn't want to compete any more than me. And yet we're sitting here talking about that guy's feelings. Fuck your feelings, guy. I don't give a shit about him. Go play. So you felt so much so that you had to get your feelings out, that you weren't getting the football, that you were frustrated, and you wanted to hide behind the cloak of, hey, I just want to compete. Well, so do the other guys. They compete just as hard. Bro, you're not any more of a competitor than Jordan Mailata or Lane Johnson or Cam Jurgens or anybody in that huddle. That's bullshit, man. But yet he goes public and he's a centerpiece in this. And he made himself the topic of a conversation. Am I right? I mean, I sat back and I've been watching all this. And by the way, I guess AJ and Seth got into it. I'm trying to figure out if that thing's real or not. And I saw that Hugh Douglas was commenting on it over on IP. And if they're commenting on it and making sound bites on it, obviously, this is not going away. And for the record, this is not new news. Him being upset with shit. Seriously, man, this is like taking care of a 5-year-old. I don't give a fuck about this guy's attitude. Why do I have to care about him and his feelings? I'm trying to win a football game. Hey, is everything going great with the Eagles right now in their offense? No. It's not. But shouldn't you keep that shit in house? Hell, according to the coaches say we have an open dialogue with him all the time. If we have an open door policy, he can come in anytime he wants. Isn't this more about Team AJ? I mean, ask yourself this again. By the way, I think the guy's a decent dude. I don't think he's a douchebag. I think the guy does things his own way and his way, and he thinks that's the right way. There's a lot of guys like that in the league. There's a lot of guys like that you meet all the time. But dude, enough. Your fucking feelings don't supersede the rest of the locker room. I think the Eagles actually go over and above to coddle this guy. I think they go over and above. Am I wrong? You know, they're trying to, and you know, I give Bob Lang a ton of shit here. But maybe what they're trying to do here is, you know, they're trying to settle the waters here because they're trying to make sure this thing doesn't blow up and A.J. Brown doesn't blow up. I don't know, man. I mean, because I'll tell you what, I'm getting fucking sick of it. I think everybody else is. Dude, that guy's going to talk himself off that football team. Here, let's go here. I mean, him competing, and he just wants the ball and he wants to compete? Bro, so does everybody else. Your feelings do not supersede mine. Dan, your voice is like an alarm clock nobody asked for. Sharp and loud, but that's why we love you. Negativity makes football talk feel alive and worth tuning in for every day. Much respect. Negativity? So you think it's negative, Caesar, for me to go like this? I don't give a shit what your fucking personal feelings are. This is about a team concept, and this is what, again, and I appreciate the super, my friend. Thank you. This again, I just want to win ball games. That's all I'm asking here. I got to sit and worry about some guy's personal and his personal feelings. Who gives a fuck about your personal feelings? Sills just heard a crazy stat. Eagles are the only the second team to ever be outgained in all 4 games and have a record of 4-0. Yeah, we brought that up the other day. It's insane. Sills, let me ask you, are you okay with mediocrity? Why would you settle for that? Would you settle for that if that was your Miami team? Dude, I got banned from the University of Miami while Al Golden was the head coach because everybody was settling. Settling? No. My point, wait a minute here. Are you under the impression because A.J. Brown posted something on X that he is the only guy in that huddle that wants to have perfection and want to be great? Just because you post something on X doesn't make you a fucking leader. What's the leadership? Apologizing after? Walking it back? What's the leadership? Tell me what the leadership is. Putting it out there for us to read? Well, let me get this right. The Eagle players don't know what's wrong, but AJ wanted you to know what was wrong. Is that what you're saying? My problem with this today is, hey, man, you don't compete any harder than Mulata. You're not anybody special compared to those guys. Don't tell me that you're competing harder than me because you post something on X. That's fucking stupid. Nobody in their right mind in that huddle and in that locker room would believe that. You just want to put the star on you. Now, I said this, mission accomplished. It is mission accomplished. He got what he wanted to be said about the offense out. It's funny. I don't hear anybody else in that team talking like that because they wanted to keep that in the locker room. AJ didn't. That's leadership. Okay. So he felt it compelled and important for you to know what was going on. Sills, we're going to learn a lot about AJ this week with Surtain cover him. I don't foresee a lot of catches for him. Hey, man, everyone in here thinks it's a blowout. Anybody you talk to, the Broncos are going to get blown out this week. 38-10, stuff like that. Everyone is like, hey, the Broncos are getting blown out this week. They have no chance. I miss the AJ from 22 and 23 who actually got open. That's because the offense was tailored to him. Now it's not. Guys, that's the entire problem here. The entire problem is the offense is not tailored to him. The offense is tailored to Barkley. End of story. And it's as simple as that. It's nothing more than that. It's tailored to Barkley. You know how we know this? You know how we know this? You keep running the fucking guy in the A gap and they're flooded. And you keep doing it because you're hoping that he's going to break one. My guy Sills, how are you, my friend? Get this. You notice one thing? There ain't no fucking drama on that defensive side. There's no collapse coming. No way, because of this guy right here. Because of Vic Fangio. Ace, no way. No way. It's going to be a 17-14 type of game with these offenses. Are you under the impression the problems have been corrected? Sills, with the injuries to Lane Johnson, you think it's time to start thinking about his replacement in the next couple of years in the draft? Yeah, I do. Yes. The best player for the position is the best. Did Dick Vermeil say this? The best player for the position isn't always the best player for the team, regardless of his performance. Dick Vermeil. That is A+ true. That is right on. I'm sure with that comment, Coach Vermeil didn't think too highly of AJ. If that's something that Coach Vermeil said, that's exactly right. Because you have the best player at that position and the best player on your team, that doesn't always make him the best teammate. Hey, T.O. It's like you. It's the delivery some people appreciate and some don't. He spoke up for his teammates, and I respect it. And now show it on the field. Okay, Abe, my problem is this, okay? You have people dissecting it, saying that it's leadership. Well, dude, his fucking posting it on X doesn't make him any more of a competitor than anybody else in that locker room. And the number one thing that people, I think, pretty much universally agree, that get this, his approach was flawed in how he went about it. Well, if the approach is flawed, him wanting to compete is no different than anybody else in that locker room. I don't know how people tie that in. What, because he posted something? He let all of you know what was going on? And then he backwalked it. I don't know what to believe out of you, dude. And by the way, this isn't new. This is shit that's been going on for a bit now. Ever since Saquon Barkley took the reins of this team after the bye, A.J. Brown has never been the same when it comes to keeping his mouth shut. Is that fair? By the way, I'm not really dogging on him. I'm dogging how we're covering this thing here a little bit. Right? AJ's never been the same since Barkley and the team went in that direction. If you guys remember, I swear to God, I remember after that bye, I came out the next day, that Monday, and I said this to all of you. Do you think Saquon Barkley's changing the fundamental ways on how they're going to approach on how to win games? I didn't think it'd go to this extreme. And it has. It has totally gone to this extreme. AJ spoke up for him, not his teammates. Yeah, if I'm in that locker room, you're not speaking up for me. Okay? Are you under the impression that the teammates don't talk to their coaches and going, Coach, don't you think it'd be best? Let me tell you something. When you're in a team meeting room or you're in a position meeting room, that's where dialogue goes back and forth on how to build the game plan. This is not a dictatorship where when you're putting a game plan or a strategy together, what, you don't think Vic talks to his position coaches? What do your guys think? If guys think that the offensive line doesn't look that hot, they have two tight splits, so they want to really try to get in three techniques and see if they could beat these guys because they don't think their feet are very good. You don't think there's conversations that go on like that? They go on every day. Okay? Hey, and by the way, how the fuck would you know, Reyes, how they talk in a meeting? All you could do is sit back and watch TV and watch Madden. Can't blame him for wanting to have both a Hall of Fame resume and the rings. I'm not blaming him for anything. I'm not blaming him for anything. I'm asking you how we're covering this. A.J. Brown more of a competitor than Jordan Mailata is a joke. Shields, this is not about competition. A.J. has his ring now, and he needs the stats to set up his final contract. A.J. is focused on A.J. The team is trying to avoid another TO in the driveway moment. Hey, look, that's actually a great point. Next contract, next negotiations in this offense, that guy's not a $30 million player. A.J. Brown's not getting $30 million. You already got people like Howard Eskin and others talking that the guy may have lost a step. He ain't lost a step. The offense doesn't throw the ball to him. He's not getting $30 million. A.J. Brown right now is not considered one of the best receivers in the National Football League. And that's what's bugging him too. But I think he is. But as I told you guys, he's gauged on numbers. People go like this to me. Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver in football. And he's on one of the shittiest teams in football. Right there in a nutshell, all that stuff that you talk about having a ring, it doesn't matter. Jamar Chase is thought of as the best player at his position. And he's on the Bengals. And he's on the Bengals. A.J. Brown is tired of being second fiddle to a dominant running back. That's what I think it is too. Listen, I said it. The offense does not run through him. It runs through Hurts and Saquon and then him. And Bengals should have drafted Penei Sewell. Probably so, for Joe Burrow's sake. Okay, listen, laughing my ass off on quarterbacks and coaches that are lesser than the ones we have. AJ's still a top. Nobody looks at that like right now. That's ridiculous. Okay? He needs to quit being insecure about it. I should have read the end here, Reyes. That back end, you're right. That's totally right. Reyes is right. He's insecure. He's right. You have a winning team, you have a winning environment, and his insecurities are getting the best of it. You're right. Reyes. That's right. This back end in here, he needs to quit being insecure. He's dead on. This is an insecurity thing with him. He thinks people look at him now not being the best receiver in the game. And many do now. If you put a top-tier list together of wide receivers in the NFL, nobody's going to put the 61st wide receiver in pro football right now today in a top 10. Nobody's going to. A.J. Brown, a big player? Absolutely. He's an enormous player. Personally, I think he's the best receiver in the game. It'd be great if he thought that. Look at this. 7 catches, 109 yards in 2 quarters. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Nobody's disputing his ability, dude. They're disputing the approach. What's your point? What's your point? I don't know what your point is. So, he's really great. I know. If he's so great, RC3, why don't they fucking use him? Please explain why the coaches have to dumb down the offense for Hurts, who you said is the smartest quarterback in the league. Not being disrespectful. Great question, Gary. He is smart. Jalen is a better ad-libbing quarterback than he is a technical quarterback. He's not very technically sound. He's limited in the pocket. He's limited in his throws. But when you put him in a limited offense, he excels. Because he has another tool in the toolbox that he makes great in-game decisions when he has to take off and run to move the sticks. I did. I heard the press conference, and it was a lawyer's answer, and it was I thought I heard Howie talking. I saw that differently than others. And people are going to go, well, Hurts is different. Okay, I know. And that's why Hurts in public, when he speaks about his team or his coach, it sounds fucked up. It does. I can't tell if he's backing his coaches or his players like ever. Unless he directly says it, I can't tell. Hurts is a freestyle artist. Absolutely. He's being held. No, he's not. How can he be held back when he's 20-1? How is he held back? You're expecting Jalen Hurts to run a more complex offense, and he will never. But he'll be 20-1. What would you rather have? A more complex offense? You're telling me they're holding him back? How are they holding him back when he's 20-1? You're not getting the point here, folks. Do you know what the point is? They got a limited offense for the quarterback for a reason. Because the quarterback is limited, and the things that they limit him to do, he's a winner. And you know what it is? It comes down where people can't accept it. They just can't accept it. Dude, Dak's a better passer from the pocket. Dak is asked to do more. Dak can do more. Dak makes the stupid mistakes that Baker Mayfield makes. That's where I say he's smarter. Jalen's not going to throw the interception. Dak and Mayfield will. There lies the difference. Completely different. I'm fine with the win, Sills. I just think they could air the ball out more. Okay, you know what everybody reverts back to? They revert back to 22. And you know what they forget to do? They forget to add Shane into that mix. You had a competent play caller with the player skill set. You have not matched up an offensive coordinator to fit your quarterback's skill set since 22. You think there's any coincidence to that? Brian Johnson was the wrong coordinator to some extent. Maybe if they kept him longer, he would have evolved also with Jalen, but they didn't want to keep him. They didn't want to do that. Kellen Moore was complete polar opposite of what Jalen Hurts needed. That was what the organization, think about it. Is this fair to say? And this goes into AJ. Kellen Moore is everything that the organization wanted in a coordinator. Why? They wanted the offense to go through Barkley. Right? If they wanted the offense to go through AJ, they would have had a passing attack. Am I right? And then them elevating Kevin Patullo. Elevating Kevin Patullo, told you they were going to do the same thing. Dude, Kevin Patullo got that job because they weren't going to deviate. 2024 was a singular season. 21 and 23 and 25 so far isn't anything like it. Nothing remotely close to it. Okay? Look at this guy. Big Sills, the delusional, is back at his double speak again. Ridiculous. What are we double speaking here? I'm not. Bro, have some context, fuck bag. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Go back to sleep, dickhead. Sills, on a serious note, how do you think Howie feels if he's paying millions and they don't use them? They are using them. He's a decoy. He is using them. He is. Seals, AJ is the perfect wide receiver. Yes. Yes. That wasn't Kellen Moore's real offense. Correct. They ran the ball. He's not a run dominant. He's throwing the ball 46 times with Spencer Radler. He's not fucking a run guy. He was not a run guy when he was in Dallas. Look what Steichen is doing with Danny Dimes. Do you think there's any coincidence? Hey, let me ask you this. This is a great take here, Jason. So Jalen Hurts had his best season as a dual threat quarterback with Shane Steichen. Danny Dimes, who's a dual threat quarterback, is having his best season as a quarterback. The wrong guy's the head coach. The wrong guy is in Indy. The best coach that they have had for Jalen Hurts is in Indy. Am I wrong? Look what he did with Gardner Minshew. Didn't Gardner Minshew make a Pro Bowl as a Colts quarterback? I thought he made a Pro Bowl. Get this, wrong? I'm talking about the quarterback development, douchebag. Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm sure, right. Kellen Moore, he got away from Philly and he went back to being a passing coordinator. Yeah, okay, right. They don't want Hurts running too much of the RPOs. Well, that limits them. Guess who Herbert's coordinator was his rookie year? It was Shane Steichen. He won the Rookie of the Year. Is that true? So wait a minute. Shane Steichen was the Chargers coordinator when Justin Herbert won the Rookie of the Year award. Jalen Hurts was a runner-up to the MVP in 22. And Shane Steichen has now taken Danny Dimes and put him in an MVP conversation. Is that fucking right? Holy cow. Best coach they've had for Jalen Hurts is in Indianapolis. And they've never had one since that was better. Hurts is winning ball games. You know why? Because he's great. Actually, we had a moving of the guests. So we're just going to do Xander today, JD3. Tomorrow, Mark Schlereth is going to be with us at 3:30. So Schlereth was going to be on today. Stink. We got him tomorrow. And then I got a text back from Doug Peterson. He had to move his time. So it'll be 3:30 on Tuesday of next week. So tomorrow will be Stink. We'll probably do Mike North again, Big Z, and on Tuesday, Doug Peterson, the former head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, will be with us at 3:30. We're really looking forward to that too. So we had to move. I don't know. I'm hoping that Jason gets back with me on that because I'd like to know who he is going to vote for. So if we happen to get him, we'll see if we're able to connect. I know that he has meetings all day with the NFL, and he's got meetings with the National Football League and the Hall of Fame. So, guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Colts beat the Broncos with 300 yards from Dimes and 125 yards from Taylor on the ground. I don't think the Broncos D is as good as advertised. Well, I don't really think your offense is as good as advertised. So, I mean, Ray, you're going off of a year ago. Try to stick to what we're doing now. I'm not saying, Ray, everybody in here on my network and in Philadelphia believes that this is going to be a blowout on Sunday. I'm not so sure of that. I haven't seen any signs that the Eagles could blow anybody out right now. I mean, personally, I'll make this point to you. Hey, Anthony, I don't think the Rams are that far off from you on being the best team in the NFC. I think the Rams are right there. You didn't do anything to make me think that you're better than them. You beat them? Yes, sir. But I don't know. I think the Rams are right there. I think the only reason that I would lean Eagles is because you've beaten them and you've won the Super Bowl and you kind of have their number. It's the only reason I'd lean Eagles. But that Rams team's right with you. And they're right there, and they proved it. They're right there with you. They beat the fuck out of you for 3 quarters. Beat the fuck out of you. Sills, who's comparable OC to Steichen? You know, I thought the guy Munkin was going to be a guy like that, but you know, I think he's walked back a little bit. I think they kind of panic in postseason play. Ton of football left. Ton of football. All we need is a huge hit on Stafford's spinal cord, and he's done. Okay? That's some strategy. Seals, do you think Quinyon deserved the best defensive player of the week? I think that shit's subjective. I thought he was great. And I don't know who he covered. Mbuka, by the way, so maybe, wait a minute. Mbuka got the offensive rookie of the month in the NFC. And that's who Quinyon Mitchell covered on Sunday? Sure. Okay, he got, again, look at this. Lockdown corner. A lockdown zone corner. Okay. And all you guys still keep bringing up that Cooper DeJean's a corner. And Vic has to keep telling you and correcting all of you. He's not a corner. He plays the nickel. And some of you just don't want to hear that. You think he's a corner like he's Patrick Surtain, and he's not. He doesn't play the same position at all. Nowhere near it. Yeah, Mbuka's got really great numbers going on right now. I think he's going to be in the conversation for potential rookie of the year offensively in the NFC. All right. So let me go with Jalen Hurts here. How do you think Jalen Hurts has handled all this week as he gets ready for Denver? How do you think he's done? Hey, Xander, do me a favor, please. Send Jason Cole a link to the show for 4:30. Is that cool? Just give me a heads up if you hear me, because I know you're busy back there. Just give me a heads up. Cool. Great. So Jason Cole will be at 4:30. We'll talk to him about the Hall of Fame. So that's great. Okay. Sil's picking and choosing what he likes and doesn't like. That's called the Dan Sileo Show, and it's called a talk show. Thank you for helping me tell people how I run a show. I guess. Again, that guy sometimes with his takes are fucking baffling. I mean, he's been ridiculed his whole life. I think he'll be fine. He is focused, even if he gives lawyer answers. Okay? Sills, O-line, yes. Yes. O-line is the main source of our problems. They are playing like the damn Bengals. I completely agree with you. Okay? I do. I guys, let me see some scores. What do you think this game's going to be on Sunday with Denver? Mansels, I hope this AJ stuff works out. I don't want Brown to be traded. He's too good. Okay? Sills, Jalen is just worried about winning games. Well, here's exactly what. So AJ Brown did go after Seth Joyner. He did go after Seth. Now, here's Jalen's comments first. Jalen Hurts, when asked if he has extra conversations with AJ when games like Sunday happen and AJ's frustrated, we just focus on the work. So the answer is no. The quarterback doesn't feel the need to address it. I'm not sure Jalen's wrong. So this is what it was allegedly tweeted by A.J. Brown and then immediately removed. And he was going at Seth. The audacity of you telling someone to do their job. My stats every year back up that I'm doing mine. How about you do your job and call out the BS, but you won't because they're paying you, so you have to play along and be a good boy. Those old heads can be tripped, boy. I'm not sure what the boy means, and I'm not sure again. I know that Hugh and all these guys have gone back and forth now, and it's becoming a topic in Philly now. The guy just apologized, and now he's going after a media guy. Whatever you think of Seth, and he's talking about stats here. Okay? He's talking about stats. Bro. And then he's trying to tell you yesterday that the tweet wasn't. Again, I'll tell you this, Dave. That's not how WIP's taking it. And that's not how other media people in the market are now taking it. That's why I said allegedly. And again, I mean, my stance hasn't changed. Shut up and do your job. Or getting paid to do this, dude, is a crybaby. Listen, Marsh. Getting paid to do this, dude, is a crybaby. I mean, I think people are getting tired of it. I do. I think people are just getting tired of this. So that should be. Let me listen. We're the only people that call people out here. We call people out here. Xander calls people out here. You want to know why JAKIB is kicking ass? It's the only place that's unfiltered. Eagles aren't going to blow out anyone. They couldn't do it against Dallas, who made Russ and Caleb look like all pros. Terrible first half against the Rams, an abomination in the second half against the Bucs. Bleacher Report has him being traded in the offseason. Yeah, I here, one of my topics is this. You think the problems have gone away because they put out some sort of apology campaign yesterday? AJ, I don't give a shit about Seth Joyner, dude. I'm talking about AJ here in the Eagles. AJ's immature and in denial. He takes plays off and admitted that he isn't evolving. He shuts down during games. These problems are aimed at the quarterback. And they're aimed at the head coach because the coach goes along with the philosophy and the player goes along with it. This is going to spill over until Sunday. You want to see frustration? This Sunday game, to me, the Eagles are playing two people. They're playing the Broncos and they're playing themselves. The worst thing you can have. You're playing two opponents at one time. You see this right here, folks? You want to talk about denial? Where in the world have they shown that they play like that? Where? What, the minus 3 yards in the second half? The 0 for 8 and catches in the second half? Who they blowing out? And he thinks they're going to put 52 on the board when guess what? They don't throw the ball. If they threw the ball, sure, 50 points, no doubt. They don't throw the ball enough for 50 points. Dude, only the Tennessee Titans have a shittier offense than you. And M. Reyes is saying they're going to blow him out. Talk about a joke. He's joking? No, he's not. Even the Giants coming up, they won't blow out. AJ wants his accolades. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm starting to think this is more about numbers now. Nope, another game he doesn't get the ball. He will cry again. Hey, Marshall, can I tell you what I see? And I haven't made my prediction until tomorrow. Can I tell you what I see, Marshall? Like 28, 21, A.J. Brown, 4 catches, 50 yards. Something like that. Barkley probably gets going a little bit. And you see Barkley with about 110, 15 yards. Because I think that D-line for the Broncos is undersized. And it'll be their edge rushers are great. Okay? I think their edge rushers are really great. I think they're inside. I think that's a good matchup for the guys. They may get like a little bit of movement this week. And if you give Barkley a little movement, I think he goes for about 120. Hurts will be around the same numbers, 125, 65 yards rushing, and they'll win another ball game. Do I think the Broncos can win this game? Yeah, if you shit all over yourselves again and you give the ball back to them in the second half and you make it a one-possession game like you have all 4 games. You know, you've made these games one-possession ball games in every single football game you've played. So when people are going like this, yeah, we're going to stretch it out. We're going to blow them out. Every game you've played this year, the opposing team has had a chance to win the ball game. And people are posting like you're going to blow them out when you haven't. You haven't blown anyone out. AJ versus Patrick Surtain is going to be interesting. Let me tell you what's going to happen there with that. Why does Surtain have to concern himself with the passing game when the passing game is not efficient? It's 31st. And I think this is part of the problem. AJ's not going to get his opportunity to compete against Surtain. Surtain's going to look like he beat him. You get that, right? When you play against another great football player in the NFL and you don't get a chance to compete against them because the team's not throwing you the ball, the opposing guy wins that. I think the environment finally swings in our favor. What are you talking about? Swings in your favor. You're 20-1. What are you talking about? Swings in your favor. Nothing's going to swing in your favor. You win football games this way, dude. This is how you win football games. What are you talking about? What do you think? You're going to evolve into like what? The Rams offense? You're fucking crazy. Okay? I love what shirt? I do. I love the Kane shirt. If the offense has another trash game and they lose at home to Denver, whoa, the offense will have another trash game. But the difference is you won't lose to Denver at home. I don't think. I don't. What other Broncos ranked versus the run? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I know this. I think you could throw the football on them. I think they're 5th against the run defensively. Total defense. The Broncos are 10th. Pass defense. The Broncos are 9th. Run defense. The Broncos are 11th. They're a pretty good football team. They're a good football team, man. Let me see here. Let me double check that number. Rush defense. Broncos are 11th. Scoring, they're 2nd. Red zone, they're 1st. Third down, they're 3rd. It's a pretty good unit, but I will concede to what Xander said yesterday. The opponents, again, I want to see them against this team. Smitty Cook Surtain the last time they played. When was that the last time they played, Monster? Is that before Barkley or after Barkley was on the team? Because ever since Barkley's been on the team, you ain't cooked anybody in your passing game. Yeah, I mean, you haven't cooked anybody. 2020, Barkley wasn't on the football team then. Barkley's on the team now. Offense runs through Saquon, not through AJ. Remember, in 2000, when he got here, in 2022 and 23, the offense went through AJ Brown. Look at the numbers. After that, when Saquon got here, that offense doesn't go through him any longer. What AJ have in a Super Bowl? Did he have a lot of yards? I forget. So far ago. I mean, hey, by the way, if he was so good in the Super Bowl, why is he complaining? Hurts 600 yards. Jaden 400. 1-1. And Jaden's missed 2 games. Is that right? Hey, James. Jaden's missed 2 games, right? And Hurts has 600 yards. By the way, I want to show you guys something. How many people in here think that Justin Fields sucks as a quarterback? How many people think Justin Fields sucks as a quarterback? You think Justin Fields sucks as a quarterback, right? Me too. James, you think he sucks? RC3 is a bum. He's not good. All right. Let's take a look at him. Justin Fields. Justin Fields. Where is Justin Fields? Quarterback, New York Jets. Where is Justin Fields? Here he is. So Justin Fields has played in 3 ball games. And he's got 471 yards and 2 touchdown passes. Jalen Hurts has played in 4 games, and he's got 600 yards. Justin Fields has 65% completion percentage. Jalen's got 69, which is way better, in my opinion. Fields has 60 attempts. Hurts has 140 more. And he's only got 140 yards more passing. I mean, Jalen Hurts has a 101 rating. Fields has a 100 rating. Boy, they look pretty similar to me. Any turnovers? Let's take a look at that. We'll be fair here. Jalen has no turnovers. Fields has no turnovers. Want to double check? Fields, does he have any turnovers? No turnovers. No turnovers for Justin Fields. How many touchdown passes does Hurts have? 5. Am I right? And he's missed 1 game. So the numbers are a little bit skewed for him. And Justin Fields has 2. Those numbers seem a little different to me. I mean, almost the same. Doesn't Jalen have a fumble too? He got hit in the pocket, dropped the ball, and the Rams recovered, didn't he? I mean, Fields has a 100 rating. So does Jalen. I don't know. I mean, so you want at quarterback skills, Hurts or Fields? I'm talking about the perception on how you see one guy versus the other guy. Hurts versus Fields here. I had a stat here or a trend here. Hurts versus Fields. And here it is. I want to show you something here too. Somebody sent me this. Fields year 2 versus Hurts year 2. No, not that one. That's not the one. My point is that both guys, here it is. So passing yards, this is because Fields missed a game, weeks 1, 2, and 4. He missed week 3 against the Buccaneers because he got hurt. So we're going to go 1, 2, and 4 with Jalen versus Fields. Fields had 471 yards in 3 games. Hurts has 383. Passing touchdowns. Fields has 2. Hurts has 2. Rushing yards. Fields has 170. Hurts has 139. Rushing TDs. Fields has 3. Hurts has 4. One guy's elite and considered a top 5 passer. The other guy's considered a bum. They got the same numbers. In 3 starts, they got the same numbers. One guy's a bum, and I think he's a bum too. Not Jalen. I think that kid Fields is a bum. They're the same numbers. They're identical almost. Like, look, this is weeks 1, 2, and 4. And I'm going to show you being on a different team. 1, 2, and 4. Justin Fields has 471 yards passing. Hurts has 383. The reason we took game 3 up because he wasn't in it. He got hurt and Tyrod Taylor played. They got the same amount of touchdowns. Fields has 178 yards rushing. Hurts has 139. Fields has 3 TDs rushing. And Jalen Hurts has 4. I'm not in any way sitting here trying to pimp you that Justin Fields is as good a quarterback or better than Jalen Hurts. I'm just trying to tell you that the perception of quarterbacking is really in the eye of the beholder. I'm out of pocket? That's fucking reality. What are you talking about, guy? I'm looking at a quarterback's performance like everyone else does, and I'm looking at Jalen's, and I'm looking at Fields. One guy's a bum, and the other guy's not. I'm not telling you Jalen's a bum. Stop crying, everyone. Stop your whining and stop your fucking crying. Okay? So I didn't expect AJ to be here for the last year of his deal because of the cap. Now it's definite because of the drama. This goes back to this goes back to last year. This ain't a weak thing. Okay? Rage baiting? Once again, folks, because you got guys with shit in their fucking ears. I never said Justin Fields was better than Jalen Hurts, nor did I say he was even close. I'm talking about people's perception of what good and bad is. The fuck you talking about? Nobody's suggesting that. I'm talking about how people see people. Nobody's saying anything like that. Yeah, I'd rather have Justin. Dude, I wouldn't want Justin Fields to run my rec league. Nobody's saying that. I'm talking about perception. Do the Eagles value more of the process or just the final result? As a fan, should I care less about how? Yes. That's what they're telling you. Bro, don't care how the paintings look. Their idea is they just want to sell it. They want to sell the painting. They don't care how it looks. Absolutely. They want it to be, hey, dude, if you're looking for a masterpiece, the Eagles are not going to give you a masterpiece. They're just not. Who cares? Bro, 20 years from now, no one's going to remember the offense and how fucked up it looked. They're going to look up the list and see who won the Super Bowl. Nobody goes back to the Dolphins. Hey, does anybody know? Hey, Kyle, do me a favor. Go back into the Super Bowl where the Dolphins ended up undefeated. Here, let me show you something that to the point that I'm going to make here. And nobody will remember this. How many passes did Bob Greasy complete in the 1974 Super Bowl? Seven. He completed 7 passes. Anybody remember that? Or do they just remember he won back-to-back Super Bowls? They had fucking 7 passes completed. Nobody cares about. Nobody goes back and does that. That's probably even better. The 72 season would be the 73 Super Bowl. 8. So in Bob Greasy's 2 Super Bowl wins, he completed, 15 passes in 2 Super Bowls. Nobody remembers that. Nobody's going to remember the offense of the Eagles a year ago where Hurts went for 29.05. Nobody cares about that shit. You look up the list 20 years from now, you're going to go, Hurts was the Super Bowl MVP, and the Eagles won the team. They won 14 ball games that year, and they went on an iconic run. Nobody remembers that shit. Nobody's going to remember that. My point, though, AJ has always been a drama queen. Yeah, well, remember this, Jeff. I said this to you. By the way, guys, please hit the like button. I said this to you yesterday. I'm not shocked by this. I don't really care. I know who the player is. You know, when all of this started going down, and now get this. So he apologizes, and reportedly now he's going after a media guy. Who in their right mind thought that this was going to fucking end? Anybody who thinks this shit's going to end is just not really. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. This is not going away. But if you know the player, what's the line? Who posted that line by Dick Vermeil? We got to get Coach Vermeil on again. And we're going to get Coach on again. We got Doug Peterson next week at 3:30. Okay, AJ's not going to stop this. Sills, was AJ like this in Tennessee? Why do you think they moved him? You know, people think that the Tennessee Titans moved him, and they moved the guy because it was over $600,000. They moved him because he was a pain in the ass too. Now, I think it's a stupid move, obviously, but Derrick Henry hit all that shit. That team wasn't driven through the wide receiver. He had pedestrian numbers there. 60 catches, 1,000 yards. Dude. I mean, Hunter Renfrow had numbers like that. He had Hunter Renfrow numbers in Tennessee. Did they underutilize him? Yeah, well, they had Ryan Tannehill and they had Derrick Henry there. But he was a pain in the ass. But pain in the ass is, to me, I don't care. If you're a good football player and you're a pain in the ass, so what?